First of all, thank you for being here. Quick show of hands, how many were in Armand's presentation this morning, just context? Okay, awesome. That'll make it a little bit easier. So thank you, first of all, to the customers in the room for your continued trust and partnership, and thank you to those of you who are considering becoming a customer of ours. We look forward to working with you throughout the day, collaborating, and really understanding where you are in your cloud journey. As Louise mentioned, we have a packed agenda. But one of the most valuable aspects is for you to network. So at the breaks, please take advantage of networking with your peers. I think everybody is probably at different phases of the same cloud journey that we're all on. So you no longer need to be convinced of the benefits of cloud. Organizations like yours have adopted cloud across the landscape to transform your business. But what you tell us in our meetings and what the data shows is that most organizations are still struggling to keep up with cloud broadly. There was a 2023 PwC survey that said while 78% of executives say that their organizations have adopted cloud, only 10% actually are realizing the benefits that they expected, such as reduced cost, improved resilience, and driving new revenue. So simply put, you're not getting the value that you should get out of cloud. And I think we heard a little bit about, if Ruben's in the room, the journey that Lloyd's was on and where they started, right? And so they started with that journey and obviously have come a long way. And I think many of you are on that same journey. So simply put, you're not getting the value that you need, but we're very proud to be here working with all of you, whether you're very early in your journey or whether you're in that late stage. Today, we support 25% of the Global 2000 with our products. We really connect the world in many ways and help move it forward. So whether it's those of us who booked on bookings.com to get here, or whether you swiped your card at Starbucks this morning, we play a mission-critical role to help organizations like yours deliver the essential services and experiences that you need for your customers and that your businesses are known for. It's a role that we take very seriously, and we really consider it both a privilege as well as a responsibility. It's because of the partnerships that we have across the globe, across so many different industries and different size organizations, that we have a very unique vantage point about how organizations are doing with cloud. And we see a consistent pattern of adoption, which I'm going to explain a little bit more about in a few minutes. But first, I want to set a little bit of context about where we are collectively on our cloud journey. So similar to the PwC survey, we do our own cloud survey every year. And you'll actually, just because you registered for this event, you'll be receiving that cloud survey in a couple weeks. But our results are very similar to what PwC saw, in that only 8% are what we consider globally, of our global customers are highly mature. Here in the UK, it's even lower than that. It's 4%. But the good news is that of those who are considered highly mature, 89% say that their cloud maturity has dramatically helped increase them achieve their business value. So we all know we're on the right journey. It's just a matter of getting there. So we want to talk to you today about how we believe we can help you become more cloud mature. But quick side note, for those of you who weren't in Armand's keynote, Armand mentioned that IBM announced in April the intent to acquire us. And so I'm sure there's lots of questions about that. And everybody keeps asking me, what does it mean? What's going to change? And the answer is, nothing's going to change, with the exception of the fact that we're going to get deep investment for innovation. So I think what you'll see is the pace of innovation will be higher. And then from a go-to-market perspective, which of course is the organization that I run, all of the customer-facing functions, what you'll see is enhanced global coverage and global support. So the synergies between us and IBM, when we first started talking, the synergies were really quite striking. Their software division, the vision is, quite frankly, exactly what we want to, what we've been doing, which is multi-cloud and hybrid cloud, right? And so I think what you're going to see is just an accelerated investment and great synergies. But today we're here to talk about HashiCorp standalone. That once the deal closes, we can talk more about what happens from an investment perspective at IBM. But today it's about HashiCorp standalone and what we can do to help you. And I wanted to start by framing the common challenges that we see with cloud programs across the globe, really regardless of customer size. First and foremost is increased risk and complexity, of course, because of the differences in how cloud works. And, that's one of the common things we hear is that just because people move to the cloud doesn't mean they adopt all the right practices and changes. So how cloud works is different, and that means you need to change your practices, as we all know. And that becomes exacerbated by the lack of cloud skill sets out there. Second, of course, is the lack of governance and control. So you can move to the cloud, and sometimes it can result in waste and increased risk and exposure, and that's obviously not what you want. And then lastly, we hear that your developers are not as productive as they want to be and as they need to be. And that, of course, is because they spend too much time on infrastructure operations, right? And so what we all know we want is to move them away from that so that they can spend their time coding and delivering value. In the end, every conversation that we have with our customers anchors on three things: cost, speed, and risk. The good news is not only do we see the common challenges, but we also see the commonalities for our customers that are doing cloud right. What is it that they are doing? Well, the number one thing, and where it starts, is that they deeply understand the application value chain. And they approach the infrastructure and security aspects of the application value chain as equally important parts alongside app dev and monitoring. Now, application lifecycle management is probably the best known part of the application value chain. And where app dev teams have workflow systems and capabilities to code, test, and deploy applications to cloud infrastructure. HashiCorp, of course, sits at the center of the application value chain with our infrastructure and our security offerings. The best companies deliver infrastructure lifecycle management via a platform team that's focused on workflow systems and capabilities to build, deploy, and manage their infrastructure over the entire lifetime. They deliver security lifecycle management via platform and security teams that have systems and capabilities to protect, inspect, and connect the most sensitive data in their environment, which of course are your secrets, your certificates, your keys, and your customer data. And then, of course, it's the continuous monitoring of applications, their performance in production. So that's really the biggest key. That's the number one thing, is understanding that every aspect of this application value chain is equally as important. The second key to doing cloud right is taking this centralized approach and breaking down the silos that exist between your app dev teams, your platform teams, and your security teams. Your app dev teams really need to get to the point where they have self-serve so they can move with speed to deliver the innovation that you need to drive business results. Of course, the platform and security teams need control. They need to be able to govern, and they need to be able to inspect for risk. Done right, the platform and security teams have one platform to deliver this self-serve environment that is secure by design for your app dev teams. So your app dev teams no longer need to be experts on infrastructure or security, and they can focus strictly on delivering the critical apps that you need to move your business forward. You heard from Armand that we continuously focus on this, and Waypoint is the newest offering, which helps you abstract that layer from the app dev team. So we're constantly focused on how to help you drive this self-serve. The result in the end is that your platform teams get the control that they need, and your app dev teams get to work with the speed and the flexibility that they need. And this is why we created the infrastructure cloud. So we've taken the 10 plus years of knowledge that we have, and now we are delivering an enterprise SaaS version of our products. So it's to help you do cloud right. The infrastructure cloud is delivered via HCP, HashiCorp Cloud Platform, that you heard Armand talk about this morning, which is a unified SaaS platform. It's a continuation of our vision of our self-managed products, but it's going to allow you to move faster and more cost efficiently to help you do cloud right. In addition, we've reframed our entire portfolio into infrastructure lifecycle management and security lifecycle management based upon the patterns of success that we have developed with so many of our customers. Infrastructure lifecycle management, of course, starts with infrastructure as code workflows, combined with that centralized platform approach to deliver the cloud system of record, right? So that you know all resources under management. We know these environments are super ephemeral, so establishing that system of record and making sure that at any given point in time, you understand what resources are under management. We also combine the ability in this platform to allow you to manage that infrastructure lifecycle, because it's not a one and done process. Security lifecycle management brings identity-based security workflows, combined once again with that centralized platform approach to help you establish a system of record for all of your sensitive information. Again, your secrets, your certificates, your keys, your customer data. And once again, we give you the ability to manage that security lifecycle with this platform. We have a global retail customer that is very cloud mature, and when they initially moved to an infrastructure lifecycle management approach and then started with the ILM system of record, they were shocked to find out that at any given point in time, 50% of their images were out of compliance. They're also very mature from a security lifecycle management perspective. Once again, they focused on creating the system of record, and they found a lot of benefits. Number one was that they were able to achieve 100% audit success in a much faster time frame than anything that they had ever seen in the past. They went from months down to days. Additionally, they saved over $10 million via automation, centrally managing millions of secrets across their 2,400 stores. This customer is doing cloud right. Based upon our time with customers, many like these, we've created this prescriptive blueprint to help you with your cloud success. And we call that blueprint our maturity model. Once again, as I said, we've reframed it in terms of infrastructure lifecycle management and security lifecycle management. The security model is here to help assess your maturity, and then help you provide the building blocks so that you can get to ILM, Infrastructure Lifecycle Management, and SLM, Security Lifecycle Management, at scale. The prescriptive approach helps your organizations align on the big picture, and then sequence and prioritize to break out of the siloed thinking that generally is holding most companies back. For Infrastructure Lifecycle Management, it really starts, well, both phases, both ILM and SLM have three phases. They have an adopt phase, they have a standardized phase, and they have a scale phase. Now, there are many layers below this. It's not just this big picture that we will walk you through. But the basics are that for ILM, it starts with infrastructure as code. So your teams start composing, the infrastructure patterns with infrastructure as code. But what you want to get to very quickly is the standardized phase, where the teams are now collaborating and they're publishing and then discovering each other's infrastructure patterns so that you have standard patterns for things and they're able to be shared, which helps you scale. The next phase is really to apply broad policy. This is what is going to allow you to get to self-serve with the app devs. The app devs team should not care about policy, right? That should be driven by your platform and your security teams. So the application of policy is what's next, and that really is what helps to drive the acceleration of speed for the app dev team. Finally, for ILM, you need to be able to observe, respond, and remediate. And it's important to understand that this is what we talk about when we're talking about the life cycle. It's constant observe, respond, and remediate. And every time you remediate, you have to be asking yourself, what can I automate? So it's this constant automation, trying to think about how much you can remove the human effort at all times. For security lifecycle management, it begins with knowing what secrets exist, what secrets are out there in the wild. And as Armand alluded to, we know they're in Slack, and we know they're in Splunk, and we know they're everywhere else, right? So it's a matter of, being able to understand where those secrets are, centrally manage them to create that system of record, and then you can start to take that centralized policy approach with your secrets as well. The next phase, of course, is moving to dynamic secrets or just-in-time secrets. And this is how you want to make sure individuals gain access to most privileged sessions, right? Or what we would call privileged access management, PAM, and generally known in the industry, of course. But once again, I'm going to say we get to lifecycle management as the key. For infrastructure and security, this is what we actually see most companies get wrong. They have approaches where they provision and forget it, or they secure it and forget it. And we all know that these environments are incredibly ephemeral, and that things need to, it is truly a life cycle, and that's what you need to do to get it right. So that's why we've designed these detailed blueprints for ILM and SLM to help you establish these patterns so that you can unlock the value at every single phase. And every single stage has benefits for speed, cost, and risk. This maturity model, we want it to be your blueprint. We want to engage with you in a discovery process so that you can have a very solid assessment of where you are on the ILM and the SLM journey. So the call to action today is for every single one of you to request a maturity model assessment from your account teams. We'll bring the experts in. The assessment that you see on the screen right now is actually from a UK financials organization. And after we do the assessment, the next step then is to elevate and help you do a strategy. We'll bring in an expert to do a strategy day to talk about now knowing where you are and knowing what the end game looks like. Really no end game because it's a life cycle, but getting to that life cycle, how is it that you're going to get there? And we're going to help you with this strategy day to build those, to create those building blocks. But beyond the strategy days and beyond the blueprint, which we will be handing out to you and working with you on, we want to continue to create other ways for you to get value as quickly as possible. And so I'm happy to announce that we have a new set of services offerings that aligns completely with the maturity model. So rather than you just hiring us on a time and materials basis or a specific SOW, we actually have very, very specific offerings from both us as well as our partners that align with the maturity model. And we think that will be of great help on your journey. Secondarily, we have something called HashiCorp Validated Designs, which we came out with probably about 6 months ago. And we'll continue to create more and more HVDs, as we call them. But these are architectural blueprints, which are best practices for how you need to do your architecture. And then lastly, the newest thing that we're about to market for the infrastructure cloud is a new try and buy program. So it's in its early days, but basically what we're doing is we're building these common user journeys that all of you are going on. We're building them in the infrastructure cloud, and you can come in and try it. We'll set very specific objectives with you. You can try it and then determine if you would like to proceed. The first one that we're coming out with is automated image patch management. And so it'll be literally up and running. And within 30 days, you can see whether or not that it is something that you want to engage with us in. It's important to understand that all of this work, the blueprints, the HVDs, the try and buy program, all of these things come out of our close collaboration with our customers. So your voice really matters to us. And as a result, we believe that's what drives us to deliver not only the best products, but also the best practices to make you successful. So we're incredibly excited to partner with you on your cloud journey so that you can do cloud right. Hope you have great sessions today. We'll be around. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to engaging with many of you.